time for another round of Patriots versus commie propaganda. I don't know. There's some stuff I've been wanting to go over for 2 or 3 weeks, but there's so much stuff coming in at one time that I've got to go after that. It just keeps getting in the way, and I was going to do this video today, and then a half hour ago it changed. I was going to do something else, and then I decided I needed to go ahead and get this one out of the way. I don't practice this stuff. That's pretty obvious. I'll give you what I can the best way I can. How about that? Fair enough? All right, this goes back to, Google and Facebook did it at different times, but this is about emotional manipulation and behavior manipulation. It's something that Google and Facebook have done. They claim limited number of times, but I mean, you don't know. This in particular is going to be mostly about Facebook. Google did it with quite a few things, but Pokemon Go was the best one. Surveillance capitalism. What they do, it started off trying to see if they could do virtual world experiments with real world results. And what they found is they could change people's behavior. And that's what they did. So Facebook did it too. January the 11th, 2012. Data from a large real-world social network collected over a 20-year period suggests that longer-lasting moods, depression and happiness and others, can be transferred through networks. Although the results are controversial, experiment with people who use Facebook, making happy people sad and depressed people depressed, and depressed people happy. Now, the first thing that came to mind when I started getting into this and found out, it was definite, it was absolute, no denying it. Facebook and Google have been doing this to people for a while. Is mass shootings. I mean, dadgum. You got somebody already depressed, and then you're constantly feeding them more stuff. You don't have to be smart to figure that one out. The content in which is shown or omitted in the Facebook feed is determined via ranking algorithm that Facebook continually develops. Political, social, corruption, and others. The experiment manipulated the extent to which people were exposed to emotional expressions in their newsfeed. Each emotional post had between 10% and a 90% chance of being omitted. So, if it was a positive post, it had up to a 90% chance of being omitted to make sure a person got nothing but negative, and the other way around as well. And it's all based off of your user ID. That to me tells me it wasn't random. Over the past 20 years, how many people involved in mass shootings or other violent crimes were victims of these psychological experiments without consent? That consent is the trick, because Facebook's defense on that is in the Facebook user agreement, data use policy agreement, everyone gives consent to be experimented on. They use those words. In the Facebook user agreement, data use policy agreement, everyone gives consent to be experimented on. That's in the agreement. Google did the same thing. Surveillance capitalism is a huge thing. It's being done to everybody. It's not just Google and Facebook. Every single app you get, your privacy or your permissions, you give them that. Then they sell that data to whoever else, and they use that to manipulate how you react, how you shop. They've been changing people's moods, and they keep up with that stuff. Anybody that's my age or older remembers when at the movie theater, movies are filmed with 24 frames per second, and in 1 or 2 frames there would be buy a Coke or buy popcorn. Subliminal messaging to create or increase sales. That was outlawed. Now they're doing it again. How do they get away with that? So, something to keep in mind. Another thing Michael Ryan from the World Health Organization. I saw today he was on video saying that now that everybody's in stay-at-home orders, they may be going entering houses and removing people by force if necessary, because that's where the infections are taking place now, in the home. Well, no shit. Everybody's in the home. You live there with them. But if one case in this country happens like that, everybody better get up and do something to forcefully enter your home and forcefully remove somebody from your home because they're sick, for your safety and health, of course. What garbage that is. And if we sit by and let that kind of crap happen, you know, all we're doing is we're handing this country over to some communists that's taking it over. We're letting it happen. The first time these commies enter somebody's house, remove them by force without them committing any kind of a crime, this country better erupt in a damn fight. They have us where they want us. We're all isolated in separate spots in controlled groups. I told you who made the virus in the last video. This is not an accidental natural virus. It's a non-natural hybrid. And this is exactly what it did. It created all the fear. It put people in their daggum house. Now it's a controlled environment. Easily controlled. You see what happened? Start saying something. Start speaking up. Quit being scared. People used to call that coward. Y'all take care.